What's up, guys? Welcome back to Terry's 180 Peninsula Reef. It's February 11th, Saturday, February 11th, so I thought it'd be a good time for a quick update on the tank. There's been a few changes, some good, some bad, and I'll kind of hit on both. We'll start with the bad. So I just did some maintenance this morning. I cleaned the return pump. I like to do that every couple of months. Ran the skimmer in some vinegar. And then used Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to scrape the coral and algae off the inside of the skimmer. I use those magic erasers a lot. The skimmer looks brand new. And I like to clean the return pump every couple of months or so. It's a Jabo DCT 15,000. And I've had these two Jabo PP15s, the Jabo DCS 9000, and then the DCT 15,000. On this tank over a year, and no issues. I know some people have had sort of Jabo horror stories, but I haven't. I keep them clean, and they've all been fine. The one thing I will say is they definitely respond well to maintenance. The cleaner they are, the better they run. Where some pumps you can just sort of run them and never have to do anything with them, which is great, but I like to keep them clean. So I did that this morning. Let's hit the bad first. I was messing around, and I shouldn't, but I was messing around with the calc dosage and trying to up the pH without throwing the alkalinity all off. And in doing so, I've got it balanced pretty well. The alk sits, high 8s, low 9s, pretty steadily. I test the alkalinity daily with the Hannah checker. Every morning I go down, drink my coffee, go down and run the test before I get my day started. Everything is fine-ish. I've had a couple of corals have not responded well to sort of the changes. I had mentioned the Montes had not responded really well, and I had heard from some people that Monteporas are really sensitive to pH swings. But it looks like the tissue recession on at least the red ones has stopped. The green Montes don't look great, but we'll see how they do. But I've had a few corals that have not responded well at all, like this green Millie, probably on its last legs. This guy, not sure what he's called, but a lot of recession. It was growing great, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And I'm going to probably attribute that to the pH and alkalinity. Same with this guy. I've never had real great luck with Milliporas to begin with, but those are sort of the ones that have not responded real well through the tank. But then on the other hand, some other corals are doing great. There's this blue Millie up here growing well, new growth tips. This guy I think is a frog skin, an ORA frog skin growing like crazy, needs to be fragged. The Miyagi tort needs to be fragged. It's growing. Here's another frag of that. I think it's a frog skin growing really well. This guy I love. The tips are, it's hard to see. Tips are purple, base is green, growing like crazy. New heads on the candy cane coral. There's a couple of other frags of Miyagi tort here and there growing. The purple stylophora, deep purple in a way that it hasn't been before, and I'll talk about why more in a minute. The Slimer dark, deep dark green. The camera's not lying. That's what it looks like to my eyes too. New heads on some of the torch corals. So a lot of positive responses from the corals. Could be pH related. It could be another change I'll talk about in a second. This guy needs to be fragged. This guy, the green bird's nest, was an accidental frag, which is now turned into sort of a mini colony down there. The Duncan coral, which was over here before, hadn't opened in months and now is open. Doesn't seem to love the flow there, and I'm gonna try and find a better spot for it now that it's back opened up again. Pink bird's nest growing. You can see the tips growing like crazy. These guys, the two stylophoras, actually were over here, and I fragged them off and put them over there, and now there's a colony of the stylophora growing there. So on the one hand, lots of positive developments with the coral, but then a few, haven't responded real well to the changes. And I think that's probably to be expected. Some good, some bad. Some stuff's a little more sensitive. The fish are doing great, healthy, fat. These guys continue to never leave their corner. I don't know what the deal is, if it's too much flow or what. But all the tangs are fat and healthy. The hippo tang is perfect, no spots of ick or anything in months. Basically since I added the UV sterilizer. The other major change to the tank was accidental, and that is last week I had been playing around with, I had gotten a 72-inch Reef Bright Tech and two 36-inch Reef Bright XHOs. And I was playing around with the idea of running them both and seeing how I liked them. And I came to the decision that I liked just needed the Tech. So I kept the 72-inch, the longer one, the older one, and got rid of the two XHOs. And moved it to this side, just so that it's on the side of the tank that I sort of view from the couch. And in doing so, I was moving the blue LED strips that are sort of my dawn and dusk strips. There's two there and two there. And I was moving these guys over to the left to get them out from behind the Reef Bright. And the light cable pulled out of the anchor. The anchor didn't come out of the ceiling, but the cable came out of the anchor, and the light fell in the tank. And I was in a moment of sheer panic as my Kessel was underwater. This end of the light was underwater. I knocked my automatic feeder into the water, and I smelled burning and was freaking out as electricity and salt water don't mix so well, and turned everything off and drained it, dried and cleaned the Kessel, which is fine, and actually pretty easy to take apart, which was nice to learn, and got the lens nice and cleaned. And it's working fine now. And the one thing that was not working fine was one of the ballasts for the T5s was burnt up. It must have, salt water and electricity not playing nice. And so this light was originally a metal halide T5 fixture that I ripped out the metal halides and installed the Kessel A360WEs in. And you can see, I think I've got pictures in the build thread. And I've never been happy with the amount of light produced by the T5s. I think the ballasts were just crap. So I took the opportunity to replace both ballasts with ATI replacement ballasts, wired everything up, and it's hard to tell from the camera because it's sort of dimming the T5s, but for my eye looking at this, it hurts my eyes. They are noticeably brighter. The tank itself is noticeably brighter, and the corals, the response was immediate. Polyps out, happy, growth. The T5s have made a huge difference. I had sort of been toying with the idea of trying to convince my wife that what I needed was 3 Radion Gen 4s, which would cost, they're $850 a piece. Do the math. So that was going to be an expensive investment. And I've totally put that plan on hold now because I'm thrilled with the light, and I'm picky about stuff. I'm always messing with things, as I know I shouldn't be. And right now, I couldn't be happier with the light that's being produced by this thing. I'm running 2 Aqua Blue Pluses, I think, and a Blue Plus, 1 Blue Plus, 2 Aqua Blue Pluses and a Purple Plus on here, and the light is great. I might mess with the combination a little bit, just to sort of get in maybe just a little bit more of a daylight spectrum, because they really only run during the day. I don't need them for blue, the additional blue, so I could probably ditch one of the blue bulbs, especially with the Reef Bright on there. So that's the major change to the tank is the lighting. And looking at it, I'm thrilled. Couldn't be happier. The tank continues to thrive. And so that's what's going on. No major changes downstairs. We're sort of just in a holding pattern with the basement remodel. We're going to finish the basement. And eventually a tank is going to go in the wall in the basement. I don't know, something big, probably like a predator tank. No coral, just fish, so I can save on lighting. And have it all tied together. So the money I'm not going to spend on those Radions could then be invested on that. So no changes really downstairs, but up here the major change is the light. But the tank is doing really well. Keep hitting me with those comments and questions. I love interacting with you guys in the YouTube comments. And, happy reefing.